Imagine living next to a toxic dumping ground for decades and never knowing it. Local 2 Investigates discovered that's what happened in an East Harris County neighborhood. And tonight, for the first time, neighbors are speaking out about why not knowing may have made them sick. Joel Eisenbaum looks at the possible link between a contaminated river and a flood of health concerns.
The signs say, warning, stay out, don't eat the fish. Welcome to the Waste Pits, a highly contaminated portion of the San Jacinto River right under I-10 East. It's so hazardous, it's the worst of the worst. It's a Superfund site, put on the EPA's national priority list. Yet for almost 40 years, Jim and Jennifer Harpster have lived right next door with no warnings, no signs, and they say they were never told a thing.
Didn't get a knock on the door and somebody saying, hey, we just wanted to let you know, need to be a little bit careful. There's a dioxin dump site right down the road.
Never.
Never.
They now know a highly toxic chemical called dioxin is in the water, and during storms like Hurricane Ike, the river flooded west into the entire neighborhood, including in and around the Harpsters' home.
You see a lot of weird stuff.
The Harpsters say after the floods, trees would die, grass would turn brown, and knowing what they know now, they're worried about something more serious. They're concerned their kids' skin rashes, along with thyroid problems, could be linked to the contaminated river.
You think, oh my gosh, I let the kids go down there and build a raft and play in the river.
Not just once, their entire childhood.
Yeah.
And at least 35 others in this neighborhood have the same concerns. They all think the tainted water may explain what they say are high concentrations of cancer, tumors, and kidney disease among them. World War II vet Gerald Frautschi battles breathing problems and cancer.
I hadn't thought anything in the world about it until we heard about this.
Others in this neighborhood have severe cases of chloracne, a skin disorder directly linked to dioxin.
More testing needs to be done with regard to the people who live in the area. They, I think, have been ignored.
Attorney Dale Trimble represents the neighborhood group that's now suing the companies they say are to blame for dumping the dioxin. Their lawsuit claims the toxic waste came from the Champion paper mill in the 1960s, and then a group called McGinnis Industrial Maintenance dumped it into pits near the river. The suit claims it allowed toxic chemicals to seep into the river and their neighborhood for 40 years and counting.
No one has been forthcoming with them about how it affects them.
The EPA tells Local 2 Investigates workers have capped the leaking pits and soil tested in 5 spots in the neighborhood last year, finding no dangerous levels of dioxin. But Jennifer Harpster's not convinced.
It's not safe for people to be living there.
Beyond the possibility of serious health problems for people who live in this area, there's another issue: the financial strain.
In all good conscience, I could not sell my house to someone else knowing what's right down the street.
Property tainted by a secret that's now clearly out in the open, with the neighborhood left to wonder how much damage may already be done. Joel Eisenbaum, KPRC Local 2.
International Paper and Waste Management, which eventually acquired the 2 companies accused in the dumping, are also named in this lawsuit. Now, those companies say the acquisitions came decades after the disposal happened and that it was common practice at the time. You can read both companies' full statements at click2houston.com in the Local 2 Investigates section.